This is Genesis here. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I have a little bit of time, so I decided to go ahead and answer this question from someone who posted online to me in the forums. I believe it's a script from, God, I should know the name of this mission, but it was originally wrote by Jester and Quicksilver. And I'm being asked to add some things on here before. And for this person, I've already added some code, so I'm semi-familiar with it. But the question is that we have a piece of code here, and essentially what it does is that there's a mission that happens where some AI are coming to a town to attack it, and then the players have to defend that town from being taken over. So what happens is that the players have to be there, they have to kill the AI, and they get a message like after a certain amount of time, you will either win or lose. So it kind of was a strict limit. So his question is, let me get to it. Would you be able to tell me the code to add to make it so that when we have activated the 10-minute cooldown or countdown timer and we kill the last op4 early, it ends straight away? What is happening now? Sometimes we kill all the op4 after say 5 minutes, but we have to wait another 5 minutes to get successful defend message. Also, could we have it so that if the op4 kill a blue 4 during a defend mission, then a 10-minute timer is started and we have to get back into the AO within that time. Otherwise, it's a failed defend and the mission ends. I would be eternally grateful. Okay, so there's two parts to this we need to consider. So one, he wants it so if you kill all the op4, it just ends right there. So I actually was looking at this and I already went ahead and did that here. So what was happening in the script is this first half here would spawn in the AI and send them on their merry way. And then it would force the player, and here we had two defend timers. One was set at 480, a variable set at 480, and one set at a random 120. And if you scroll down, right here, below this, is where the command is to check for op4 being dead. So you couldn't check for the op4 being dead until these timers ran up. So the defend timer 1 refers to the variable up here. Defend timer 2 refers to this variable right here. So a simple way to fix that was I just really reduced these wait times. There's really no need to have these. And actually, I think it would be best just, I'm going to leave them in there for the original code, but I'm just going to kind of comment this out. And so what we're going to do is, I'm going to kind of do this kind of live, per se. Usually I record it, me going really fast. I don't think this is going to take that long, so I'm going to go ahead and just do it live here and talk about my process through while I'm doing it. So I'm just going to actually take that timer out. You know, ArmA code, usually it's good to have some sleeps here and there, just to slow it down for the engine, but I'm noticing there's already sleep 5 here, and it sends the messages it needs to send. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm trying to see why there are two of these. It seems a little redundant, we'll leave it there. And so here's the code here. Now the next part is, so now if they kill the op4 right away, it'll trigger at least within 5 seconds. 5 to 10 seconds, so that's much better than having to wait 5 to 10 minutes. So the next part of the question is, also, could we have it so that if the op4 kill all the blue 4 during a defend mission, then a 10-minute timer is started and we have to get back in the AO within that time. Okay, so that's a little bit more in depth. So we have a while do loop here that while attack continues true, it'll keep going. And the only reason why attack true to be false is if there's less than 10 op4 units. And that means that they have won, because their initial request was, well, we don't want to track down and kill every single one. Because, you know, there could be 1 or 2 hiding inside of a building, we don't want to really care about that, and yada yada yada. So there's that. And we have a part of the script here that, just like it says, if it pulls all the op4 units within on the op4 side within 1,000 meters. If they're within 1,000 meters of the town, then they get added to the op4 unit list and are considered a part of that assault. 1,000 meters is pretty big, but you know, some of these cities can be pretty large, so we'll see. I think that's okay for now. So what we need to do is add a way, essentially reverse this now, and I've already added part of this here. is I just copied this line right here for the for each all units. I did a check for if the side of the unit is equal to west, then we're going to push back. We're going to add to this array the blue for units list for each all units. And so we are redefining every time this while do loop runs every 5 seconds. This is checking. This is checking, and it re-empties the array out to start over from scratch. So we're not just keep adding to it and creating a leak in that way. So this is as far as I've gotten so far. Then I decided, hey, might as well record. So we have blue for units list here. So we have it. Now all we're doing so far is getting the blue for units into a list. And what I'm struggling with now is we need to have a way to check if I only want the if all blue for die to trigger after it detects blue for. So we can't just do a simple if the count of blue for is less than 1, then fail or then start timer, because that's not even fair. If the mission starts, you have 5 seconds to get in there if you're not anywhere close, and then it counts out as a fail. So we need to have a way to check, have it wait until the blue 4 gets in there. If that makes sense. So I think what we can do is we can copy this. Okay. And we'll just push this down a little bit for some space. And I'm thinking, we'll just kind of do the same thing. If the blue 4 unit is more than 1,000 meters away, we will not consider him a part of the town defense. And the position check is going to remain the same. So we do if underscore x distance. So x will just pull whatever current variable is being used for the for each hop forward unit list, which obviously you want to change it to blue for unit list. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll just subtract. So what happens here is if the unit's distance between the position check, which is the town position, is greater than 1,000, then we take them out of the blue 4 unit list. So it filters it down. So now we only have blue 4 units that are close. Okay, and up here I have blue 4 present, and we'll do it like initially here, equals false. So this is going to be the variable I'm thinking. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but we're going to find out. This is going to be my variable that I'm going to use to figure out when they first get there. So what we're going to do is do a check constantly. So if, and so this exclamation point means not, essentially. It's the same thing as not. So if blue 4 present initially is false, and it is, then we're going to execute another check. So only want to do it when it's false. Then we're going to do a count. So if, I'm thinking, so if it's false, so they're not in there yet, and we're going to do a unit count. And if this is higher than 0, then we can flip that to true. So if whoops, count blue 4 unit list is greater than 0, right? So even if there's just one person in there for single player games or whatever, then we're going to just flip this variable to true. Good. And then actually what we're going to do now is just make it a little bit more smooth. Let's do an if then else. So we'll do, it'll check here. So if this is false, then it will do another if statement and see if there's more than one blue 4 in the area. And then this will go to, then it will go ahead and flip this variable to true instead of false. And then now as it comes back around after the sleep, it'll go to this else section. And this is where we can do the check, very similar to here. So the blue 4, now we have the count. So if they were there initially, and so they were there, but the count is less than 1, because now we're assuming that if it's here, that the AI killed all the players or they left. Because this is true, so they did see them there once within 1,000 meters, but now they're not there because the list count is less than 1, then we're going to have to make up a variable here. Let's do, we'll just do defense timer equals, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. So they want 10 minutes. And this ticks every 5 seconds. So 10 minutes is 600 seconds. So what about 520 times? Yeah. So we'll just do defense timer. So what I'm thinking is I'm just going to make the defense timer a straight up just numerical value. So defense timer, we're due up here to do, so we have to define it before we can, do binary to it, or binary addition to it. So before in the loop, I'm going to do defense timer equals 0. So now the defense timer equals 0, and it'll start adding up seconds. So this is the timer essentially. Every time it hits here, and there's not any more blue for players in there, then it's going to add 5 seconds to that timer. 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And what we will do as well, and okay, one step at a time. So now we have the defense timer, and we'll do another check over here. And actually we'll do it inside this to save code, or to save some frame rate here. So if the defense timer is greater than or equal to 600, so that would be 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes, then they want the mission to fail. Okay. And actually, I'm not sure how the missions fail in this. This is one challenge is I'm not sure how the mission would fail. And I'm looking to see if there's anything up here. And messages. Or if it just ends it. EOS Circle 2 call EOS deactivate. So this is calling. Ah, man, I wish I could remember what mission this was. Just a second. Ah, got it. It's enemy occupation. Okay, so it's enemy occupation systems. So it looks like it's part of something like this. I'm getting some Steam messages. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take a quick look. At this here. And what I'm looking for is this EOS deactivate. And because I'm lazy, all I'm going to do is go ahead, and I'm assuming it's somewhere in here. It may not be. I'm assuming it might be in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just dump this folder in. What I need to do first is actually, extract it. Then I can just dump the folder in. I used to be able to do this. Oh, I see. Go ahead and dump this folder in here. They're all open, and I'm going to be lazy. I'm going to do a search for that. And here we go. Here's a hit. So deactivate looks like it just sets, it looks like it takes a marker and it sets the color black. Okay. So I'm guessing color black is it's not hostile or something. Something is going on there. So what I want to do is look up, I'm going to go back to our initial script here. I'll just call it the town check. And let's see if I have the name of the script in here. Well, I'm going to go ahead and look up just this line here to see if I can find the script that it came from. Nope, looks like this was added. So we're going to go ahead and maybe look up, let's see, we have a problem. And it looks like it's only popping up in ours, so this may be a lot newer than I think. So let's look this up. Yep, looks like this is only popping up in this. So this might be like a modified one. I'm thinking that's the case. So what we're going to do is just, the code won't be any different, but we're going to go ahead and just utilize this. Just use the same code here, and then we're just going to go ahead and change up the text of what it tells the players. And that should be good enough for now, at least, until they want something more specific that I'm unaware of. So what we're going to do is, so the defense timer, so every time there's no blue 4 in the area and they were there initially, it'll add 5 to the timer. The reason why we do 5 is because it sleeps 5, and so 5 seconds have passed, and so we need to add 5 seconds. They wanted, once there's reached 600 seconds, then we want it to essentially fail. So what we'll do is add one more variable. And actually, I'm thinking we don't even need to do that because we could just save time here and save code, save lines. So we'll just do that. Once it reaches 600 or greater, what we will do is go ahead and end it. So we'll do attack continue equals false. Okay, just like that. Attack continue equals false. And so now it will stop the script, but this will still stay at 600. And did I? Hold on. I hope I didn't do this. Incorrectly. Nope, okay. I did spell that right. For some reason I thought I spelled defense wrong. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take this. And what we're going to do at the end, so this will stop it once it reaches 600. Instead of having like another variable, what I was thinking of like failed or not, and then just setting like a different variable true here, we're going to go ahead and just do a check down here. If the defense timer is greater than or equal to 600, then, you know, this code, whoops, will activate this code, else it'll activate this code. And so this code, so this is the assault has ended, you won, good job. We go here, and if you failed, we go here, and it'll be, what we'll say here is, the assault ended, Op 4 took the town. Just to let them know, like, you messed up kind of thing. Circle 2. Interesting. Okay. And this one will just be the typical you win message. Okay, so that's all nice and all, but now see right now one problem in our code is the players don't know they're on a timer. Which isn't the worst thing, but I like to at least let them know that, hey, you know, you might be in some trouble. So I'm just going to use the side chat because it's a little bit more or less intrusive than maybe, you know, this text here. I think this is a big hint that goes on the top right. If I am believing so. Global hint, yep. So what we're going to do is every time it adds 5 seconds, I want them to know how much time they have left to get into town. we'll do blue4 has. The way to do that is, so we're going to format this, but blue4 has %1 time left to return to the town. Alright, and %1 means you can put a variable in there and it'll pull it, but to do that we have to do a format. Okay, it's actually been a while since I've done this, so we'll do type in format, left bracket, and you have what you want to say in quotes there, and then you have a comma at the end of the quote, and then a closing bracket. And to the right of the comma, you can put what you want for the variable. And for this variable, what I want to do is take defense timer. It would be 300 minus the defense timer. And we'll change this to seconds. Okay, so 300, whoops, sorry, this will be 600 for 10 minutes minus the defense timer. So every 5 seconds you'll get an alert. You have, 555 seconds left. You have 500 and, blah, blah, blah. I'll just keep going like that. And, yep, that'll work. And then it'll let them know every time. But one more thing I'm thinking of is, so this works great right now, but there's a problem, and that is, say we go in there as blue4, we get killed, then it starts counting down, and we get to, like, say, it takes us 5 minutes to get back into town. Well, this defense timer doesn't reset, so if we get killed again, we only, instead of having 10 minutes, we have 5 minutes to get back in town, so that's a problem. So we need to reset this every time the blue4 is in there again. So and the way to do that is if count blue4 is less than 1, the defense timer blah blah blah. Else, what we're going to do is set the defense timer to 0 again to reset that. And I forgot an underscore here. That's important. That's a local variable. You need that. Alright. And now it resets it back to 0. So they don't have to worry about it. Okay, so this should warn them. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick check. No, I'm not going to be able to test this because I really don't have the time right now to load it up in a mission and go play it. But this is very quickly kind of my thinking, and this isn't really formatted very well. This should have like tab right here and should have a tab right here to make it easier on the eyes. This is okay, not the best. So I'm thinking that might work. I'm going to ask them to give it a try, and we'll see where it goes. So thank you for watching this. If you stuck it through it to the end, I appreciate your support. And if you have any questions or you want a script to be made, just let me know. I'm going to go ahead and just package this up right now and send it away. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.